So, hello everyone. Today I have a great pleasure to talk with Phoebe, who is based in Melbourne, Australia. Phoebe, good afternoon. How are you?
Good, I'm very well, thank you.
Can you share about yourself, your background, and what is your story?
Yeah, sure. Well, my story is growing up as a little girl, I always had a lot of inspiration from my mother. So something that I was very blessed with was a mum that was very inspiring. She was very fierce, very determined, very, very hardworking. The last part, which I'm still trying to unlearn at the moment. But growing up as a little girl, I saw how hard she worked to create the life that other people only dreamed of but never took action towards. So when I was in my full-time job back when I was a radiographer, I discovered that business was something I always wanted to do, but had no idea what it was that I would eventually become. So my first two businesses were actually great learning tools for me to eventually be what I'm, do what I'm doing now as a business coach and empowering people to, rise up and thrive and shine using social media.
I'm curious to know a little bit more about what actually drives you to quit your full-time job and start your own business. It was because of money, because of what was the real reason behind?
For me, it was never really about money. Like, I was earning quite a decent income as a radiographer and, had the stability that, you only dream of now as a business owner, and had, like the annual leave, the sick leave, all of that. But what I really wanted to do was I wanted to contribute something that would be more than just about me. So I really wanted to make a change in the world and make a difference in the world. And that was something that I'd always just grown up with. Like, it was like this innate thing that was built inside of me. And I think it must have stemmed from the fact that when I was traveling, before I went traveling, when I was in my early 20s, I discovered the reality of human trafficking. And I realized that every 30 seconds, someone becomes a victim of modern day slavery, and they say only 1% ever get rescued. So when I discovered that, I knew that there was something more about business, and there was something more than, to just make money for your own self. And I went on a mission to thrive so that I could really raise awareness towards this fact, towards something that is, so not heard of or so not spoken about. And I decided that business was going to be my vehicle and help me to do that.
Many women and entrepreneurs are thinking the same, but they don't know how to actually monetize that, and they struggle. So can you share a little bit more? How was your journey from the?
Yeah, absolutely. It was like that for me at the start as well. I had no idea how I was going to monetize this vision and this purpose and mission. But I never really gave up. So in the beginning, my first business was called Mattress Sisters, and Mattress Sisters gave 50% of profit to human trafficked victims, because I always knew that it wasn't about me just volunteering time. It was I really could only make a big impact if I was going to be profitable. And unfortunately, a lot of people create charities and things like that, but they don't actually know how to support themselves, and they don't know how to monetize what they do in a way that's going to create big impact. So with Mattress Sisters giving 50% of profits, that was actually quite a fair bit. And back then I had no idea about that because I knew nothing about business. So like I said earlier, it was great feedback and great learning. But when I discovered and understood the importance of knowing your numbers and, how to actually create a business that is going to be able to be scalable and not rely on, for instance, your time or a lot of labor, and something that was quite scalable and quite lucrative, that was when, Thrive and Shine came about. And ever since then, I've been able to really take myself out of my full-time job and do something full-time and really spread the message.
Can you share a little bit more? What exactly you are doing right now, and who are your clients?
My first business was about driving change towards human trafficking, and I had no idea how that was going to actually launch into something that would really make a big impact. So I then started Thrive and Shine coaching, and it's now been 3 years, and since then I've worked with tons of different business owners, from like small, tiny, solopreneurs who are wanting to leave their full-time jobs and create their own startups, to helping organizations that are turning over over 1 million, and really really like really making a much bigger change in the world. And over the last 3 years, I would say that I guess the coaching that I've provided has really helped business owners to be empowered, and to have the steps and the tools to spread their message through social media. So I now teach business owners to leverage social media, particularly Facebook, particularly Instagram, and also LinkedIn as well, to use those platforms to showcase not only their product and their service, but also to spread their message and to create, a big impact that way. So social media has been a really powerful platform, as you all know, and it's been a growing platform that more and more people are needing and they're leveraging. So since using that, it has really enabled me to grow my own business quite quickly as well.
Okay, so I found on your profile that you are focusing on Facebook and Instagram. So can you share a little bit more about what exactly you are helping your clients to do on the Facebook? Is there any particular industry or size of the business? Just give us idea, because there are so many agencies all over the place. So what is your specialization for Facebook advertising?
Yeah, look, great question. So what we particularly do is we help our clients with their social media accounts, particularly with the branding and optimizing of their accounts on Facebook and Instagram and all the platforms. So we help them with, for instance, the Instagram grid layout, and we help them with designing a really eye-catching Instagram grid layout, so that when people do come across their message or come across their post or profile, they actually grow their following and grow their online presence. And the coaching side of things has been really predominantly focused on helping people to have a strategy to thrive online. So I'm helping them with their social media strategy, with their Facebook and Instagram growth strategy, with their email marketing, with their funnel, and really allowing them to get from being unknown to generating the leads and keeping those clients in check and keeping them in a tribe, which ultimately means that when people are in a tribe and a community, they rave about you, they hear about you, and they ultimately become your next clients, because people buy from people that they know, they buy from people that they like, and they buy from people that they trust, that are doing something that aligns with their values, and is people more and more want to make a change and make a difference now. So I want to feel that sense of contribution.
What kind of budget they have to consider before they think to do something on social media? So do you have any kind of scope of the project? You don't need to share your clients' names, of course, but like give us idea what minimum time like they need to book in advance, and what kind of budget you are talking about to start getting some positive feedback from Facebook.
Yeah, look, when it comes to social media, there's never a budget that's too small. It's more that it's about the strategy. So it's never the client's budget that we struggle with. Although sometimes if they've got a very, very low budget and they've got goals that are humongous, then we have to work with that. But usually it's more about the strategy. So not so much the paid Facebook ads that you want to focus on, or the paid Instagram approach, but it's more about having the right strategic plan in place so that they are marketing online and doing so in a way that's actually going to lead to something. It's going to lead to growth. It's going to lead to profit. It's going to lead to their business scaling, as opposed to just getting some likes, some engagement. Like, likes and engagement don't pay the bills, and I say that to my clients all the time. And it is good to have them, but it's much better to be making sales or getting clients and getting referrals. So when it comes to their strategy, like we try and make things as low cost as possible on our end so that they can afford things that will move their business forward on their end. And we work, I've worked with so many small businesses. Like I would still consider myself a small business myself. So, we've like always kept that in mind, when we're working with clients to allow them to make a bigger impact. Because at the end of the day, that's what's most important. It's that they're really making an impact and seeing a return on investment.
So you said we, so I suppose that you have some team with you.
Over the last few months, the team has grown, and so we have now got a team of 7. So it's really exciting times. I've got like from content creation people to girls that do amazing stuff with like my clients, Instagram grids, for instance, with copywriting, Facebook ads. I've got an amazing photographer as well that we've partnered with that take incredible photos, and he's like an award-winning photographer as well. So it's been really dynamic and really exciting. So for me, I guess like the vision is to continue to help businesses with their mission, but also to grow this team so that they're more and more, I guess, independent without me, and that way I can spend more time, I guess, spreading this message on stages and speaking, because that was the one thing that got me into coaching in the first place. Actually, it was I saw, I went to this event where there was a life coach, and I saw the way she spoke on stages, and I remember thinking, I would love to do that one day. I'd love to be able to empower people from the stage and share with them something that's really meaningful to my heart, but also meaningful for society in general. So I guess the vision is to be able to do that, to be able to speak more and have the team, be taking care of the social media side of things, and also to be coaching like more organizations that are contributing to global change in a positive way.
Many women who are thinking to start, they're considering, oh, if I start doing my own business, I will not have enough time for my family or for my private life. How you manage all those roles which you might have, how that impacts on your private life and your health?
That is a very, very good question. And I must say that it has been a massive juggle and a massive balancing act. And I'm a Libra, so I'm all about finding the balance in every way possible in life. But I would say that like for anyone that's wanting to start their own business, I would say go for it. Go and do the thing that lights you up, that brings you bliss and brings you joy, because then you'll know that you're actually on a journey that's not just about money and being in that like unconscious race of repeating the same day over and over again, but you're actually working on something that's going to not just help others, but it's ultimately contributing to your own growth. And business is such a journey of growth. So I would say that is probably the most important part. And in terms of the balance, finding the balance it's really crucial. So scheduling out time to yourself. And for me, weekends, I always make sure that I'm present and engaged to my weekend as much as possible. And I try to have, social media off hours where my apps will be switched off and my phone will actually notify me if I'm reaching towards Instagram or Facebook. And I really like to spend time in nature. I love the beach, the ocean, and like getting into the habit of meditating every single day is so important. Like I always start my day with meditation. And I try to fit in exercise at least once a day, and really clear my mind. And family, it's they're the ones that really are there to support you. Your family and friends should never be neglected, no matter how tough or how important things may seem. Because when things get tough, like they are the ones that will be able to help you carry forward. And it's important to surround yourself with the like-minded and people that are going to encourage you rather than make you doubt or break down your dreams. So I would say that it's all a giant balancing act.
Based on all your journey, your experience, what is something which is very unique to you?
Business made me realize that it's the people that have grit that really make it, especially past that first year and the initial first 3 years where it gets really challenging and you don't know if you're ever going to see that return come back. So I guess like the thing about, yeah, I think the answer to that question is it was about grit, and it was about having determination, just like my mum did. You know, my mum, when I was growing up, like seeing the way she like fought for her dreams and she broke the status quo, because back in the day for her, like women didn't have businesses. They barely even had jobs. They were just stay-at-home mums. So to, I guess, break the status quo and to really believe in something and believe in change is, you know, I guess that's one of the greatest things that I have, you know, somehow developed or inherited, and I'm forever thankful for that.
We thank you very much for your time and for this great interview, and I advise all people who are watching this video to contact you if they need any help with Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.